Yep, it's that time for the grassroots segment, and yep, we do generally feature Ibis FC. IbisFC.co.uk is the official website. Also at Ibis_football on Twitter. Also Facebook.com/Ibis.FC. Find them on Facebook, Twitter, and the official website. If you'd like more information on Ibis Football Club as well, you can also email ibisfootballclub@gmail.com. ibisfootballclub@gmail.com. The results from the 8th of December 2012: Southgate 3, Ibis 0. The ones going down to a 3-0 defeat against Southgate Olympic. Old Lionians versus the Ibis 2s was actually postponed. It was actually postponed quite late on as well. I think it was Saturday morning that it was actually postponed. So a very, very late postponement there. But you know what? Yeah. Let's go on, because the Ibis 3s in their cup game were actually beaten 5-0 by Old Sutonians. Yeah, man. They were actually playing on the pitch next to the Ibis 4s, us lot. And us 4s won 1-0 in our local derby against Civil Service. And it was a quality game as well. But you know what? Let's go through the squad for the Ibis 4s versus the Civil Service 1s. Now, Nick Boyd got the only goal of the game. Although the dubious goals panel would have you believe it was a goalkeeping own goal, but we're going to come into that in a second. Because our squad, we were welcoming back Maxim Baranov after his surgery. He had, I think it was his ankle. I think it was his ankle he had surgery on. So we were welcoming Maxim Baranov back, and gladly welcoming Max back as well, because I had been taking his place in goal, and conceding 16 in 3 games is not a good... What are you laughing at? That's not a good record. It's not a good record, but as I said before, I'm not a goalkeeper. But we had myself, Straight Shootin LJA, aka Liam Angel, the government name. ANGE double L, 2 L's. Not 1, 2. Myself, Carl Bolton. We had Will Hainsworth. And we also had Will's brother, Sam Hainsworth, as well, completing the back line. So it was myself back in my preferred position at left back. We had Carl Bolton and Will Hainsworth at centre back, and Sam Hainsworth at right back. It was actually quite funny, actually. Because Will's brother Sam was down for Manchester, and we actually had 3 left footers in our backline. Yes, 3 left footers just in our backline.
What's that midfield ineligible players?
No, he's registered. So we don't do that, man. We don't do that. Trust me, we don't do that. We get players registered before we play them. We're not Bradford here, even though Will does support Bradford. But anyway. But yeah, we had Nick Boyd and Ben Newman playing in centre mid, with Josh Campbell up top alongside Barry, aka Baz Clark. So we had 2 recognised strikers playing off each other. We had Gideon Barnett at right mid, and we had Mantas Zavekas at left mid in front of me, which I was happy about, because Mantas is one of them guys who can beat a man, who can beat a player. It's one of them ones, like a dusty rug at spring cleaning, mate. That's what you want. To quote one of Jim Cornette's phrases, mate. Mantas beats men on the football pitch like a rug gets beaten at spring clean, like a dusty rug gets beaten at spring cleaning. But yeah, we had Liam Cleary on the bench. He started as a sub. So yeah, man. What's on them was? Why is the G-Man still laughing? Are you laughing at the dusty rug and spring cleaning line? This is what them was. This is Jim Cornette line. I love that. Obligatory wrestling reference once again.
I love that Big T in the chat.
But Big T is a wrong one. He's an absolute wrong.
I had to.
What a wrong one. But let's go to a match report because Ibis FC won, Civil Service 6-0. The bottom of the table clash. The 6-pointer near the football. The bottom of the table clash. The 6-pointer near the foot of the table. The local derby. I'm not sure how many other cliches I could use to describe this game versus Civil Service, who are literally the other side of the train tracks to us. And we're only one place above us in the table. So the importance of this win cannot be overstated or overemphasized. Not in a game that was as tight as it was competitive. But before the game, when I was actually cycling down to Duke's Meadow, my captain, Boydie, almost saw me get ran over. And we're talking, this is on the way to the game. Because basically I was cycling up Dan Mason Drive, and I didn't realize until afterwards that our captain Boydie was actually behind me. And I was cycling, saw this woman pull out in kind of a range, well, not a Range Rover, but a people carrier. Saw her pull out. I was looking at her, proper eyeballing her. I'm like, you ain't gonna pull out. You serious or not gonna pull out? And then she started to pull out, and I had to swerve. And I had to swerve. It's like she was trying to kill me. And
wait, you were looking at her saying you ain't gonna pull out. She was looking at you saying he ain't gonna.
She
pull
weren't
out.
looking at me. She looked left, but she didn't look right. And I had my eyes fixed on her, thinking she's gonna look right, see me, and not pull out.
But was you looking at her, or was you looking at the way the car was moving?
Mate, I'm looking at both. Mate, I needed to be alert so I didn't get ran over. I don't want to get ran over before a match. Hey, I want to be playing every game this season again.
That, but having your eyes fixed on her.
Oh God, you got Big T being a wrong in the chat, and you being a wrong in here. It's like, anyway, but yeah, as I said, Boydie nearly saw me get run over by a woman coming out of the nearby golf club. But crisis averted, and I was hoping it wouldn't be one of those days. But we actually welcome back a few players, as I mentioned, who have a direct impact on my game. So we welcome, namely Mantas, who plays left mid, and regular goalkeeper Maxim has said as well. It was great to see both in the side. It was good to welcome the man I called the White Akinfenwa into our team, who was also called Liam. Liam Cleary, he's an absolute unit of a guy. But I'll come back onto that. But onto the game, it was a straight 4-4-2 with Josh playing off Baz, and we were going well in the first half with Will's brother Sam linking well with Gids at right mid. A tight first half was tight, and I actually slipped whilst going to press an attacker, but I did recover. But trying to block the cross, I actually caught a ball to the face. The football to the face. But for my troubles anyway. But Mantas was worrying their right back as Boydie and Ben were winning the battles in midfield. The ref did seem to be a bit whistle happy though. Like I told the G-Man off air, he was very, very whistle happy. But he did help both backlines by giving quite a lot of correct offside decisions. During the first half, we had to use the advent of rolling subs as Sam pulled his groin on a tackle. So Liam Cleary came on, and with his first couple of touches, he actually almost played in Josh to score. So very fleet of foot for a big man. But one hilarious side note was a tackle where someone actually tried to tackle Liam, but literally bounced off like it was the Big Show versus Rey Mysterio. I'm talking literally just boink. He just bounced off and hit the deck. I think the referee actually gave a free kick against Liam as well, which was harsh because all he did was just stand there. It was very, very harsh. But at halftime, it was 0-0. And we were doing well, but in the second half, Civil Service came out of the tracks quickly and tried to play through us through the middle early, but Will did well to snuff it out. Myself and Mantas did have to work hard and communicate well, as they did try and get down the flanks and put crosses in, but late in the second half, we did take the lead. Our captain Boydie claimed the goal direct from a corner. But the dubious goals panel would probably say it was a keeper OG rather than Boydie scoring straight from the corner. But we celebrated nonetheless because we had the lead to protect. We had the lead to defend. So Boydie did have a goal disallowed in the first half, actually, when he scored directly from a free kick, but the ref said it was indirect. So I kind of almost feel guilty not giving Boydie the goal and saying the dubious goals panel would take it off him. Even though Gideon, aka Gideon Barnett, aka Gids, was like, nah, it would have gone right onto my head if the keeper didn't touch it. So keeper put it into his own net. But we did actually weather a storm towards the end of the game, but Maxim wasn't called into action much during the game, as most of the shots were kind of speculative and were from distance. When the final whistle went, we were not only happy, but relieved to get our first 3 points of the season, because the game was played in a very good spirit. I mean, for a local derby, there were a couple of little tetchy moments, but with Boydie getting called a fat "see you next Tuesday" by a guy who wasn't exactly svelte himself. But there was one tetchy moment in the second half where Josh saw the red mist after being caught late by one of the Oppo players. And there was some mouthing off from me, calling people J-Brones and Jabronis, and as I like to do, yeah, mouthy J-Brone, and all that. But we did shake hands and we left it on the pitch after the game anyway, so it was all good. But Baz and an Oppo player were actually booked for what was handbags, so it's one of them ones. So that would be £8 out of each pocket. But the win was hard fought, and the clubhouse beers tasted that bit sweeter after the match. So on a slight side note, I'd like to say a big shout out to Andrew Copeland, aka Andy, who does the SAL Standard newsletter. And for our league and the Southern Amateur League. So go to southernamateurleague.co.uk and check out the December edition of the SAL Standard newsletter. And you'll see not only a feature on Ibis, but you'll also see there's an interview with yours truly, Liam Angel, aka Straight Shootin LJA, in there as well. So if you want to know more about me in a footballing perspective, then pick up the SAL Standard. You can also get the link to that via @VSAL1907 as well on Twitter, or you can find the SAL Southern Amateur League on Facebook as well, and they've actually posted up pictures from the Freeze game and also from the Fours game, which I was playing in as well. So see if you can spot me. White tuber grip, that's your clue right there. But yeah, man, this one of them was great win for the Ibis. Very good win for the Ibis. So I'm very happy. We were actually the only team in the club to win. So after all the struggles that we've had so far this season with players and that kind of thing, it was all good. It was all good. And the SAL Standard, you can sign up for it at www.southernamateurleague.co.uk, and it is free. It is free. I think if you go to news and then the SAL Standard on that website, you can actually find the link. I've just put it in the Skype chat as well, a PDF to the newsletter. Which the December edition newsletter, which features an interview with yours truly. So I said thank you very much to Mr. Andrew Copeland for that as well. Hope you're listening. All good. But you know what? Yeah. Ibis, we have 4 teams in the Southern Amateur Leagues. We play every single Saturday. Training is on Wednesdays from 7:30 p.m. till 9 p.m. at the Battersea Park all-weather astro turf pitches in Battersea Park, just off Prince of Wales Drive in London. We play our games on Saturdays, usually 2/3 p.m. kickoffs. So get yourself down to training. Get yourself in the reckoning. Also, ibisfc.co.uk for more information. At ibis_football on Twitter. Facebook.com/ibis.fc. And also check out or email ibisfootballclub@gmail.com as well.